Our catacombs were built in the beginning of the 20th century by a rich man, and that man was called Diepen. So had this big hobby, and that was archaeology. He totally got obsessed by the catacombs of Rome. And in 1909 he got an idea to make replicas of the Roman catacombs. And in this room we have three types of graves. This is a simple grave, in Latin called loculus. So these are loculi. These were the cheapest graves. The second type of grave that we know is this arcosolium. So that's an arch, and with a container for the bodies. There was a family grave covered by a plate, stone or marble. Now, the third type are these big crypts like this, and this was only for the rich and famous, of course. This is a replica of a double basilica. The entrance, we had a part of the Domitilla catacomb, and now we're in the Comiterium Marius. The only difference between our catacombs and the catacombs in Rome, the stone, the underground in Rome is tough stone. It's almost the same material as our limestone. Only the color is different. So in Rome, this whole room would be dark brown. In 1909, end of 1909, Diepen, he began to realize this museum. First 2 years was in two parts. The first part he built in 1909 till 1910, and the second part in 1911 and 1912. Essentially before the First World War. There was a big economic crisis in the Netherlands, so people could work here in this quarry to realize this museum.
So it was a way to supply to the economic crisis.
Also.
Okay. Yeah, because 3 years to build all of this, it's not very long.
It's not very long, yeah. No. And I heard rumors that in that time it cost 2 million guilders.
Okay.
And it would be today, nowadays, that would be 15 million euros. This is the one. We have two holy men. The first one is Holy Felix, who was a bishop and who was executed in 303 after Christ, and his colleague Adauctus. When he was executed, this man raised his hand and said, "I'm a Christian too," in solidarity, and he was also taken and executed. So he was added. Adauctus means in Latin the added one, was added to the execution of Felix. They're always together in frescoes like this. And this is the fresco that was destroyed partly in Rome in the 70s by grave robbers who thought there was a grave behind the fresco, but there was nothing, there was a wall. And then archaeologists came to us, to Valkenburg, to see our copy of that fresco. Our corridors are approximately 2 kilometers, and in Rome there are many hundreds of kilometers of corridors. And here the marble was not taken away, but because this is a reconstruction. It's the only reconstruction we have in Valkenburg, because in Rome this is collapsed, this room has collapsed.
Based the reconstruction only on descriptions, drawings, but they actually never see.
No, they've never seen it because it is collapsed in Rome. Diepen was a very religious man. He was very interested in religion, and to the history of the religion and the early Christians, how they lived, how they thought, and how they built the catacombs.